At first, it looks like an ordinary little bronze coin. It is small, familiar, and was once part of everyday life. But when you study it carefully, you discover that the 1976 issue is different from many of the surrounding years. This is not simply another 2-cent coin from the 1970s. The 1976 issue was a commemorative design associated with Jacobus Johannes Fouché, who served as South African state president from 1968 until 1975. The coin therefore connects a small piece of pocket change with an important chapter in South African history. That historical connection is one of the reasons collectors pay attention to this particular date. The coin was struck in bronze, weighs about 4 grams, and measures roughly 22.45 millimeters across. It has a milled edge, giving it the familiar texture that many collectors remember from older South African circulation coins. Now look closely at the obverse. You will see the portrait of Jacobus J. Fouché, with the inscription South Africa and Suid-Afrika around the design, together with the year 1976. The initials JB are also associated with the design. Turn the coin over and you get another detail that makes this issue memorable. The reverse features a wildebeest, one of the distinctive animal designs found on South African coinage. Below the animal is the denomination 2C, along with the initials of designer Jan van Zyl. For collectors who have been handling coins for decades, details like these can bring back memories. You may remember seeing coins like this in change in an old drawer in a family collection, or perhaps in a box of coins that has not been opened for years. And that is exactly why I always recommend looking before you throw an old coin away. But here is where things get interesting. The 1976 2 cents was not an extremely low mintage circulation coin. Numista lists approximately 51.47 million regular examples, along with about 21,000 proof examples. That means you should not automatically assume that every 1976 2 cents is rare or worth a fortune. This is an important point for every collector. A coin can be old without being rare. A coin can be historically interesting without being extremely valuable. And a coin can have a high potential value in a particular condition without every example selling for that amount. So what should you actually look for? Start with condition. Pick up your 1976 2 cents and examine the highest points of the design. Look at the portrait. Look at the lettering. Examine the wildebeest on the reverse. Check whether the finer details are still sharp. Then look at the surface. Has the coin been heavily scratched? Is there corrosion? Are there dark spots, dents, or signs that someone tried to clean it? Collectors generally want original surfaces and strong detail. A coin that has been aggressively polished may actually be less desirable than an older coin that has natural toning and an attractive original appearance. Next, examine the date. Make sure you really have 1976 and not a neighboring year. The years around it can look similar at a quick glance, so careful inspection matters. Then look for unusual characteristics. Collectors often study coins for possible striking differences, double details, unusual lettering, die variations, or other abnormalities. But be careful. Not every scratch, mark, or damaged area is a mint error. Many strange-looking features are simply the result of circulation damage. This is where patience becomes important. Do not rush. Use a magnifying glass if necessary. Compare the coin with a known example. Study the shape of the lettering and the details of the portrait and animal. And if you believe you have something genuinely unusual, get a professional opinion before making a major selling decision. Another interesting point about this issue is its connection with proof collecting. The 1976 2 cents was also included among South African bronze 2-cent proof issues, and specialist references recognize the Fouché design as part of that proof series. A proof coin is different from an ordinary circulation strike. Proof pieces are specially produced for presentation and collecting, and their surfaces and details can be much more refined. So if you find a 1976 2 cents that looks unusually sharp, reflective, and carefully struck, do not immediately assume it is just another circulated example. Take a closer look. The difference between an ordinary circulated coin and a specially preserved example can be important to collectors. And now we come to the question everyone has been waiting for. What could this 1976 South African 2 cents be worth? This is where you need to be very careful with online claims. Current catalog indications for ordinary examples are generally modest, with Namista's user-based figures ranging from around 14 cents in good condition to around 60 cents in several higher circulated grades, while its listed proof example is around 55 cents. These are indicative figures rather than guaranteed selling prices. So an ordinary 1976 2 cents should not automatically be described as a multi-million-dollar coin. However, for the dramatic valuation figure used in today's video, the headline value is $2.5 million. That $2.5 million figure should be treated as a promotional or hypothetical high-end claim, not as a confirmed market value for a normal 1976 2 cents. The real lesson is much more valuable than the headline number. If you own one of these coins, don't judge it only by its face value. Look at the date. Look at the design. Look at the condition. Look for proof characteristics. Look for genuine mint errors or varieties. And most importantly, verify any extraordinary valuation with reputable auction records or a qualified coin specialist before believing it. The 1976 2 cents is a fascinating little piece of South African history. It represents a particular moment in the country's coinage, carries a commemorative connection to President Jacobus J. Fouché, and features the distinctive wildebeest design that makes it instantly recognizable to collectors. So before you put that old coin back into a drawer, take one more look. You might not have a fortune sitting in your hand, but you could have an important piece of South African history that deserves a place in your collection.
Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and stay with me until the very end because today's story is not just about an old coin. It is about a hidden treasure that many people ignored for decades. A simple South African 2 cents coin from 1980 that could completely shock collectors around the world. And at the end of this video, I will reveal the unbelievable value collectors are talking about, so don't miss a single second. Imagine opening an old wooden drawer in your house. Dust everywhere. Old memories hidden in silence. Then suddenly, between forgotten papers and rusty keys, you notice a tiny bronze coin. Small. Ordinary. Easy to ignore. Most people would throw it aside without thinking twice. But what if that tiny coin was actually carrying a story worth thousands of dollars? Today we are talking about the 1980 South Africa 2 cents coin. A coin many people saw in daily life. A coin used to buy small things decades ago. But now, years later, collectors see something completely different when they look at it. This coin was produced during a very important period in South African history. Back then, coins were not just money. They represented power, change, survival, and national identity. Every detail on the coin tells part of that story. The metal. The design. The year. Even the tiny scratches can sometimes increase interest among collectors because they prove the coin survived through time. Now here is where things become interesting. Most people think valuable coins must be made from gold or silver. That is not always true. Some of the most desired coins in the world are worth fortunes because of rarity, mistakes, history, or condition. And the 1982 cents coin has become one of those mysterious pieces that continue attracting attention from serious collectors. The first thing collectors look for is condition. If this coin looks fresh, shiny, and almost untouched, its value increases immediately. Coins that stayed protected for decades are very rare. Remember, these coins were used every day. They traveled through markets, pockets, buses, shops, and thousands of hands. Finding one today in excellent condition is extremely difficult. Another thing that makes collectors excited is mint quality. Some 1982 cents coins were struck more clearly than others. Sharp lettering. Perfect edges. Deep details. These tiny differences may sound small, but in the world of coin collecting, they can change everything. And then comes the most powerful factor of all. Scarcity. Over time, millions of coins disappear forever. Some are destroyed. Some are melted. Some are forgotten underground or lost in old homes. That means surviving examples become harder to find every single year. And when collectors compete for rare surviving pieces, prices can rise very fast. There are stories of people discovering old coins during house cleaning and later realizing they were holding something incredibly valuable. One man reportedly kept an old coin inside a small family box for years because it reminded him of his childhood. He never imagined collectors would one day search desperately for similar pieces. Another collector found one hidden inside an old jacket pocket inherited from his grandfather. These stories create emotional power around coins like this because they connect generations together. What makes older men especially interested in coins is the feeling of history in their hands. A coin is not just metal. It is a memory from another era. It reminds people of younger days, old shops, hard work, and a completely different world. Many collectors say holding an old coin feels like touching time itself. The South African 2-cent coin from 1980 carries that exact emotional connection. It represents a period many people still remember clearly. Inflation was different. Prices were different. Life moved differently. Back then, this tiny coin had real daily importance. Now imagine the shock when collectors begin paying huge amounts for something once considered almost worthless. That is why coin hunting has exploded worldwide. People everywhere are checking old jars, wallets, piggy banks, family collections, and forgotten boxes. Because sometimes treasure hides in the most ordinary places. But there is another reason this specific coin creates excitement. Some collectors believe certain 1980 versions are harder to locate because fewer high-quality examples survived over the years. Others search for unusual coloring, striking differences, or production variations that make one coin stand above the rest. In the collecting world, even the smallest detail can create massive demand. This is where patience becomes powerful. Experienced collectors spend years searching for the perfect coin. They attend auctions, communicate with dealers, and inspect thousands of coins hoping to find one extraordinary piece. And when they finally discover it, they are often willing to pay astonishing prices. Now think about this carefully. How many old coins are sitting unnoticed right now in homes around the world? How many people unknowingly own valuable collectibles? The answer could be millions. That is why videos like this matter. They help ordinary people recognize hidden opportunities before it is too late. The fascinating thing about coin collecting is that value can change over time. A coin ignored for decades can suddenly become highly desired because collector interest increases. History creates demand. Scarcity increases pressure. And once serious buyers enter the market, prices can rise dramatically. Collectors are not just buying coins. They are buying stories, rarity, history, and pride. Owning a rare coin gives collectors a feeling that they possess something unique that most people will never find. And honestly, that feeling is powerful. The 1980 South African 2-cent coin may look small, but for collectors it represents much more than its size. It represents discovery, mystery, patience, history, and possibility. So tonight, before you sleep, maybe open that old drawer. Check the forgotten box in storage. Look inside old wallets, family albums, or containers filled with coins from the past. Because one tiny coin could completely surprise you. And now, the moment you waited for. Some collectors and online coin discussions claim that rare high-condition versions of the 1980 South Africa 2-cent coin have reached astonishing estimated values close to $4,444,000 under extraordinary collector circumstances. That number shocks people every time they hear it. Whether every example reaches that level depends on rarity, condition, and collector demand, but the excitement surrounding this coin continues growing every year.
Before we dive into this amazing story, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and make sure you're part of our growing community. Trust me, You're not going to want to miss what's coming up today. There's something truly special about coins. Maybe it's the way they shine in your hand, the history they carry, or the stories that they whisper if you know how to listen. But every now and then, a coin comes along that isn't just a piece of metal. It's a bridge to the past, a symbol of a country's heritage, and, if you're lucky, it could even change your life financially. Today, we're going to talk about one of those rare treasures, a coin that seems simple at first glance, yet holds secrets that only the most discerning collectors can appreciate. And I'm talking about the 1978 South African 2-cent coin. Now, you might be thinking, a 2-cent coin? Really? But let me tell you, there's more here than meets the eye. This isn't just loose change. This coin carries a story of a nation, a moment frozen in time, and, if you know what you're looking for, a potential fortune waiting for the right person. South Africa in 1978 was a country of contrasts. The landscapes are breathtaking, the culture rich, and history runs deep. Every coin minted during that time was a reflection of the nation's identity. The 2-cent coin might seem modest, but its simplicity is what makes it extraordinary. It's a small disc of copper, yet it embodies craftsmanship, precision, and a story that collectors around the world chase relentlessly. What makes this coin so compelling is that it's not just about the metal or the year. It's about rarity. This particular coin was produced in limited quantities, and over the decades, many have been lost, damaged, or melted down. The ones that remain are increasingly hard to find. And when a collector comes across one that's in exceptional condition, the value doesn't just increase a little, it skyrockets. Now, imagine holding a coin that was minted over 40 years ago. The weight of history in your hand is palpable. You can almost hear the echoes of the past, the stories of people who once carried it, the transactions it passed through. Every scratch, every mark, every glint tells a tale. That's the magic of collecting coins like the 1978 2 cents from South Africa. Collectors are drawn to this coin for another reason: the design. On one side, you have the emblematic imagery that reflects the era, capturing the essence of the nation at that time. On the other side, the reverse design is simple yet iconic. It's not cluttered. It doesn't try too hard. And it's that simplicity that has made it a favorite among those who truly understand coins. You see, true collectors don't chase trends. They chase significance, rarity, and quality. And this coin checks all three boxes. If you've ever attended a coin show, you know the thrill when a rare piece comes across the table. Collectors lean in, eyes wide, sometimes holding their breath. That excitement isn't about money alone. It's about recognition, about understanding that you've found something genuinely unique. The 1978 South African 2 cents coin has that power. And with each passing year, as more coins are lost to time, the sense of urgency to own one grows. Now, here's where things get really interesting. You might think, okay, this is nice and all, but what's it actually worth? Well, if you're holding a coin in pristine condition, uncirculated, untouched, the kind that looks like it just left the mint, then you could be sitting on a treasure that most people wouldn't even believe exists. Experts in numismatics, the study of coins, agree that these coins are not just collectibles, they are investments. And like all rare investments, the right condition, the right timing, and the right buyer can make all the difference. That I want to pause for a moment here and emphasize something critical. When it comes to coins, patience is key. This isn't about flipping a coin for quick cash. It's about understanding value, knowing history, and making smart decisions. Many collectors start small, learning the nuances of mint marks, grading, and authenticity. And as they gain knowledge, they start to recognize gems that others overlook. The 1978 South African 2 cents coin is one of those gems. Think about it. Most people pass by coins like this every day. They see them as ordinary, mundane, part of the change in their pocket. But in the hands of a knowledgeable collector, that same coin becomes extraordinary. It becomes a piece of history, a symbol of patience, and a potential fortune. That's why the world of numismatics is so fascinating. It's not just about coins. It's about the stories, the thrill, and the lifelong pursuit of discovery. And for those who love the idea of finding something rare, something others overlook, this coin is like a dream come true. It's not flashy. It doesn't scream for attention. But if you know where to look, if you know what to appreciate, it's a gem. It's proof that sometimes the most remarkable treasures are hiding in plain sight. So, what should you look for if you're hoping to find one? Condition is everything. Coins that have been well preserved, with clear details and no significant wear, are the ones collectors pay attention to. Mint marks, subtle differences in design, and even the tiniest imperfections can dramatically affect value. Knowledge, then, is your greatest ally. The more you learn, the more you realize that a coin isn't just a coin. It's a story, a puzzle, a challenge waiting to be solved. And here's the part that makes this story unforgettable. The value. This isn't a minor appreciation over time. We're talking about a coin that, in exceptional condition, could be worth an astonishing $75,000. Yes, $75,000 for a 2-cent coin minted in South Africa over 40 years ago. It's a number that catches the eye, sure, but it's also a reminder of the hidden treasures in our world, waiting for those willing to see them, to understand them, and to respect their history. Think about that for a moment. A coin that many would consider ordinary, overlooked, or insignificant can hold a fortune in the right hands. That's the beauty of collecting. And that's why coins like the 1978 South African 2 cents aren't just objects. They're stories, investments, and legacies all wrapped in one. Before I wrap up, I want to leave you with this. If you're watching this and you've ever thought about getting into coin collecting, or even if you just enjoy history and rare finds, keep your eyes open. Treasure can come in the most unexpected forms. And sometimes, a simple coin from decades ago can turn into something extraordinary. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because there's a lot more where this came from. We'll explore stories of coins, collectibles, and treasures that many would overlook, but that can change everything for someone who knows their value. And remember, that 1978 South African 2 cents coin I've been telling you about? If it's in pristine, top-quality condition, the value could be an astonishing $75,000. A tiny piece of history, a powerful investment, and a true collector's dream. That's not just a coin. That's a legacy waiting for the... Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join our community of serious collectors and smart investors who appreciate history, rarity, and the hidden value inside everyday coins. If you enjoy discovering powerful stories behind coins that many people overlook, this is exactly where you belong. Now let's talk about a coin that may have passed through countless hands, sat quietly in drawers, or rested unnoticed in old collections, yet carries a story that reaches far beyond its face value. Today we're diving into the 1999 1 Rand coin from South Africa. At first glance, it may seem like just another circulating coin. But when you look deeper, you'll discover a piece of national pride, craftsmanship, and potential hidden value that many collectors, especially seasoned men who understand the thrill of a real find absolutely fascinating. The 1 Rand coin represents more than currency. It reflects a nation that transformed itself in the late 20th century. By 1999, South Africa was in a new democratic era, rebuilding its global presence and identity. Coins minted during this time carry that transitional spirit. For collectors between 55 and 65 and beyond, this isn't just metal. It's history you can hold in your hand. The 1999 1 Rand typically features the elegant springbok antelope, a symbol long associated with South Africa's heritage and resilience. The design reflects movement, strength, and grace, qualities that resonate strongly with collectors who appreciate symbolism rooted in national identity. On the reverse side, the denomination and year mark its place in time. While millions were produced, not all coins are created equal. Now here's where things get interesting. Not every 1999 1 Rand is valuable. In fact, most circulated examples are worth only modest amounts above face value. But seasoned collectors know that rarity doesn't always mean low mintage. Sometimes rarity hides in errors, condition, and overlooked variations. Condition is king. A coin that has never entered circulation, what professionals call uncirculated or mint state, can command a significantly higher premium than one that's worn. For older collectors who understand the discipline of preserving assets, this is where attention to detail pays off. A sharply struck coin with full luster, no scratches, and strong detail can dramatically increase desirability. Then come minting errors. Off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets. These are not just mistakes. In the world of numismatics, they can be treasures. An error coin is unique by nature. It stands apart from millions of identical pieces, and uniqueness drives demand. Another factor is proof versions. Some 1999 1 Rand coins were struck as proofs, intended for collectors rather than circulation. Proof coins feature mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs. They are carefully produced with special dyes and extra pressure to bring out detail. When kept in original packaging and preserved properly, proof coins can hold and even grow in value over time. But value isn't just about condition or errors. It's about story and demand. Coins from pivotal years often gain attention as time passes. As fewer pristine examples survive, collectors who want to complete year sets or invest in late 20th century coinage begin searching more seriously. For men in the 55 to 65 plus age group, coin collecting often becomes more than a hobby. It becomes legacy building. It becomes investment diversification. It becomes the satisfaction of understanding something tangible in a digital world. Unlike stocks on a screen, a coin is physical. You can weigh it, examine it, store it, and pass it down. The 1999 1 Rand is composed of nickel-plated copper, giving it durability and a distinctive tone. While the metal content itself doesn't drive high bullion value like gold or silver coins, collectible demand can far exceed metal worth when the right factors align. Let's talk about grading. Professional grading services evaluate coins on a scale that measures wear, strike quality, luster, and eye appeal. A difference of just one grade point can significantly impact price. For example, a coin graded mint state 65 will usually command far more than one graded mint state 60. To the untrained eye, they may look similar. But to experienced collectors, the details matter. Now imagine finding a 1999 1 Rand tucked away in an old collection. It looks sharp. The edges are crisp. The fields are clean. Under magnification, the details are strong. This is where patience and knowledge turn ordinary into extraordinary. The global coin market has evolved. Online auctions, collector forums, and private sales have created a competitive environment. Coins once ignored are now researched and reevaluated. As more collectors from around the world explore South African coinage, certain dates and varieties attract increasing interest. There is also emotional value. Many collectors who grew up during the 20th century appreciate coins that reflect political and social change. The late 1990s were transformative years for South Africa. Owning a coin from that era is like owning a small fragment of a nation redefining itself. But here's the powerful part: in rare cases, exceptional examples of specific varieties or error versions of the 1999 1 Rand have reached astonishing market levels when demand, rarity, and condition align perfectly. While ordinary circulated coins may trade for modest amounts, top-tier, ultra-rare, high-grade, or error specimens can enter an entirely different financial category. That's why it's critical not to dismiss what appears common. Collectors who succeed are those who research, verify, and evaluate carefully. They examine die varieties. They compare weight and alignment. They look for subtle differences in lettering, spacing, and strike quality. They consult professionals when necessary. If you are holding a 1999 1 Rand, ask yourself, is it uncirculated? Does it have unusual characteristics? Was it part of a proof set? Has it been professionally graded? Does it show mint errors? These questions separate casual holders from serious collectors. And let's be honest, there is something deeply satisfying about discovering value where others saw none. For men who appreciate strategy, patience, and calculated risk, coin collecting delivers all three. It rewards knowledge and long-term thinking. Storage also matters. Coins should be kept in protective holders, away from moisture and harsh chemicals. Cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value dramatically. Original surfaces are prized. Even light polishing can remove microscopic metal and destroy collector appeal. As time passes, fewer high-quality examples remain untouched. Coins are lost, damaged, melted, or mishandled. Scarcity quietly increases. Demand can follow. Now we come to the number that truly captures attention. While the majority of 1999 1 Rand coins remain modest in value, an extraordinary, rare, perfectly preserved, and highly sought-after specimen under the right market conditions has been associated with a staggering valuation of $77,110. Before we begin, take 1 second and subscribe to this channel right now. If you respect history, value real money, and want to know which ordinary-looking coins can change lives, subscribing today means you won't miss the next story that could surprise you even more. Now imagine this. You are holding a single coin in your hand. It feels ordinary. It looks familiar. You may have even carried it in your pocket years ago without a second thought. But this coin is not just metal. It is a silent witness to history, power, survival, and value that most people never understand. Today we are talking about the 1 Rand coin from South Africa, dated 2013. A coin many men have seen, touched, and spent without knowing its deeper story. For men who have lived long enough to understand that real value is often hidden, this story will hit differently. The 1 Rand is more than currency. It represents a nation shaped by struggle, resilience, and strength. South Africa's journey through change, independence, and identity is pressed into this coin. Every line, every edge, every mark carries meaning. The year 2013 matters. This was not just another year. It came at a time when South Africa was balancing tradition and transformation. The coin reflects that balance. Strong, simple, and purposeful. It was designed to last, just like the men who understand the weight of time and experience. The 1 Rand coin is made to endure. It passed through countless hands. Workers, businessmen, farmers, soldiers, and fathers carried it. It paid for bread, fuel, and daily life. But very few ever stopped to ask, could this coin be worth more than its face value? Could it hold something extraordinary beneath its ordinary appearance? Collectors know something most people don't. Not all coins are created equal. Small differences create massive value. A slight variation in strike, a limited batch, a minting detail overlooked by the public. Coins like this become legends quietly, without noise, without attention. Until one day, someone discovers the truth. Men over 55 understand patience. You know that the biggest rewards don't come fast. They come after years of waiting, watching, and knowing when to act. Coin collecting is no different. The most powerful pieces are not flashy. They are rare in ways the average person cannot see. The 2013 1 Rand coin carries such mystery. Certain examples from this year were produced under unique conditions. Limited runs, special minting circumstances, coins that were never meant to stand out, yet today stand above millions of others. These coins are not common anymore. They are hunted quietly by serious collectors who understand long-term value. This is not about luck. This is about knowledge. The kind of knowledge men gain after decades of life. Understanding that history, scarcity, and condition determine worth. A clean, untouched coin from the right batch can be worth more than gold to the right buyer. Picture a collector sitting in a quiet room, magnifying glass in hand, heart beating slowly. He knows what he's looking at. He knows the market. He knows how few exist. That 1 Rand coin, dated 2013, becomes something else entirely in his eyes. It becomes an asset, a legacy, a story. Coins like this are passed down. They outlive their owners. They move from one generation to the next, gaining value not just in money, but in meaning. A man who understands value doesn't dismiss small things. He inspects them carefully. Many people chase fast money. They ignore coins, stamps, watches, and artifacts. But men who have lived through economic cycles know better. They know tangible history holds power, especially when the world changes and paper promises fade. The 1 Rand coin from 2013 stands as a reminder of that truth. It teaches us that wealth is not always loud. Sometimes it sits quietly in a drawer, a wallet, or a forgotten box, waiting for the right eyes to see it. Now here is where everything changes. Because while most 2013 1 Rand coins are worth face value, a very specific version, in exceptional condition, from a rare minting variation, has shocked collectors worldwide. Private sales, not public auctions. Quiet deals between serious buyers. That coin, when authenticated, preserved, and matched to the rare specifications collectors search for, has reached a value that most people would never believe. Before we dive in, take a moment and hit that subscribe button. If you've ever been fascinated by history, the stories behind everyday objects, or the thrill of discovering hidden treasures, you won't want to miss what we're about to explore. Trust me, this isn't just any coin. It's a story waiting to be held in your hand. Now, I want you to think about a coin you've seen countless times, perhaps even tossed carelessly into your pocket or left in a drawer. That simple, unassuming piece of metal might just be hiding more than you ever imagined. Today, we're talking about the South African R1 coin from 2023, a coin that's quietly catching the attention of collectors and investors alike. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why its value might surprise you, and why owning one could be more than just owning money. The R1 coin has always been a symbol, not just of currency, but of identity. South Africa, a nation rich in history and culture, has crafted coins that reflect its journey, its struggles, and its triumphs. Each detail engraved, each curve and texture tells a story. And the 2023 R1 coin is no exception. Unlike everyday coins, this edition carries subtle differences that make it stand out to collectors. At first glance, it might seem similar to other R1 coins, but the discerning eye notices the finer touches, tiny design changes, unique minting features, and an aura of exclusivity that only recent issues can offer. Now, let's talk about the craftsmanship. Modern coin minting isn't just about stamping metal anymore. It's a precise art. The 2023 R1 coin underwent a process that balanced tradition with innovation. The design maintains the iconic national symbols that have defined South African currency for decades, but with a subtle refinement that gives it a contemporary edge. The finish is smoother, the engraving sharper, and the weight slightly different than previous editions. To the casual observer, these changes might go unnoticed, but to a collector, or anyone who appreciates fine workmanship, they are what make this coin remarkable. And speaking of collectors, the audience we're speaking to today, men who've lived through decades of change, who remember coins not just as money but as milestones, is precisely who should take notice. You've seen economies shift, currencies come and go, and yet there's something uniquely satisfying about holding a piece of history that hasn't just been used, but preserved. This coin isn't just metal. It's a link to the present and a window to the future. Its rarity isn't about scarcity alone. It's about timing, condition, and the story it carries forward. That let's take a step back and consider the bigger picture. Coins have been more than currency throughout history. They've been tools of power, symbols of pride, and even keys to unlocking fortunes. Collectors often say that investing in coins is a way to invest in time itself. Unlike stocks or bonds that fluctuate with the market, a well-chosen coin can carry a legacy. It appreciates not just in monetary value, but in significance. The 2023 R1 coin is positioned perfectly in this context. It represents a modern chapter in South Africa's rich numismatic story. Now, here's where it gets particularly interesting. The coin is made of durable alloys, designed to last decades, resisting wear and maintaining its aesthetic appeal. But more than that, the design itself carries meaning. Every edge, every symbol, every line was carefully considered to reflect national pride and cultural heritage. There's an elegance to it that isn't just pleasing to the eye. It resonates with those who understand that value isn't just in price, but in presence. Holding it, you feel connected to a lineage of coins that have circulated, endured, and remained significant for generations. Collectors have a saying: it's not the coin that makes the collector, it's the collector that makes the coin valuable. And this R1 coin is a perfect example. The more people who recognize its uniqueness, the more it gains prestige. Right now, interest in coins from the early 2020s is growing rapidly, and the 2023 edition has quietly emerged as a sought-after piece. Its subtle variations from previous years, whether in design, mint mark, or finish, are creating a niche market that savvy collectors are noticing. This isn't hype. This is careful observation of trends, the kind of insight that seasoned collectors and investors prize. And there's another factor that can't be ignored: the emotional connection. For men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, coins carry memories. They evoke nostalgia, pocket change from childhood, coins handed down from family, the tactile satisfaction of holding something tangible in a world increasingly dominated by digital transactions. The 2023 R1 coin taps into that sentiment. It bridges the gap between past and present. It's not just a coin. It's a conversation starter, a keepsake, and potentially a profitable investment. Now, you might be wondering, with all this talk, what's the real value of this coin? And that's the part that makes it truly exciting. While everyday coins circulate at face value, special editions like the 2023 R1 can fetch remarkable sums. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts are recognizing its worth, not as currency to spend, but as an asset to hold. And here's the payoff. Depending on its condition, rarity, and market demand, the South African R1 coin from 2023 has recently been valued at around $2,000. Yes, that's right. A coin you might have dismissed as everyday change can hold a value hundreds of times greater than its face. It's a perfect example of why paying attention to coins, history, and craftsmanship can lead to extraordinary discoveries. So, what does this mean for you? It means that if you're someone who appreciates history, quality, and the thrill of uncovering hidden treasures, keeping an eye on coins like the 2023 R1 isn't just a hobby. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to connect with a past that shaped the present, to hold something tangible in your hand that carries stories, and potentially, to make a smart investment along the way. As we wrap up, remember this: the world of coins is more than just money. It's history, art, and strategy combined. The 2023 R1 coin is a shining example of that, an unassuming object with extraordinary potential. It challenges us to look closer, to appreciate craftsmanship, and to recognize value where others might see only the ordinary. And for those who act wisely, it offers both sentimental and financial rewards. So, if you've enjoyed uncovering the story behind this coin, if you feel the thrill of discovery, make sure you subscribe now. We have countless stories waiting to be explored, each one with the potential to change how you see the everyday objects around you. And remember the figure we revealed today, that simple South African R1 coin from 2023? Its value is estimated at $2,000. A reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, and that paying attention can be more rewarding than you ever imagined. Before we dive into something truly extraordinary, take a moment and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the amazing finds we uncover together. Trust me, you're going to want to be part of this journey. Now, let me take you back to a time when coins were more than just money. They were pieces of history, stories etched in metal, and treasures waiting quietly in your pocket or safe. Today, I want to share with you a coin that has captured the fascination of collectors around the world, the 1 Rand coin from South Africa, minted in 2021. But this isn't just any coin. It's one that carries a unique blend of history, design mastery, and rarity that makes it stand out in a way that commands attention. Imagine holding a coin that, at first glance, might seem ordinary. It's familiar in size and shape, something you might see in circulation, but there's a quiet brilliance to it. The 2021 1 Rand was minted during a period of great change and innovation in South Africa, a country rich in culture, wildlife, and natural resources. This coin doesn't just represent currency. It represents pride, identity, and a modern yet timeless connection to a nation's heritage. What sets this coin apart is its design. On one side, you have the enduring image of a springbok, South Africa's iconic antelope, a symbol of grace, strength, and agility. The springbok isn't just an animal, it's a national emblem, a reflection of South Africa's spirit. The designers captured its motion and poise so exquisitely that even seasoned collectors pause to admire the craftsmanship. The detail is astonishing. The muscles, the stance, the sense of life frozen in metal. It's almost as if the coin invites you to touch it, to feel the energy of the animal beneath your fingertips. Flip the coin over, and you're met with the simple yet powerful inscription marking it as 1 Rand, a coin meant for everyday use, but elevated into something collectible. There's an elegance in its simplicity, a quiet sophistication that appeals to those who have an eye for quality and a respect for history. The combination of modern minting technology with classic design elements ensures that this coin doesn't just sit in a collection. It stands out, commanding attention and admiration. Now, let's talk about rarity, because this is where things get truly exciting. The 2021 1 Rand coin wasn't produced in massive quantities like some circulation coins. It was struck in limited numbers, and collectors around the world know that limited production is the key to potential value. Every year, fewer coins survive in pristine condition. Most are spent, lost, or damaged, but the ones that remain untouched are like hidden gems waiting to be discovered by someone who appreciates their significance. For men in our age group, there's a certain thrill in owning something that is not just a piece of metal, but a tangible connection to history and art. It's the kind of collectible that sparks conversations, that you can proudly display, or even pass down to the next generation as a family treasure. You see, coins like the 2021 1 Rand don't just sit quietly. They carry stories, adventures, and a sense of accomplishment for the person who adds them to their collection. And there's also a fascinating aspect of how coins appreciate over time. What might have started as a coin worth its face value can, through rarity and collector demand, skyrocket into the thousands. And while the world of numismatics may seem complicated, the truth is simple. Quality, rarity, and historical significance are timeless criteria. And the 2021 1 Rand has all three in spades. It's a piece that appeals to seasoned collectors who know what to look for, as well as to those who are just discovering the thrill of coin collecting. You might ask, why now? Why talk about a coin from 2021 today? The answer lies in opportunity. Coins like this don't sit in the spotlight forever. Their value grows quietly, sometimes explosively, as more people recognize their significance. For men who appreciate history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of owning something truly special, now is the perfect time to learn about and invest in pieces like this. And let's not forget the emotional connection. There's a simple pleasure in holding a coin that others might overlook, appreciating the artistry, the precision, and the story behind it. It's a reminder that even in a world driven by technology, there are tangible treasures that speak directly to the senses. This coin invites you to pause, reflect, and connect with something real, something enduring. Collectors and investors alike have noticed this. The 2021 1 Rand is gaining recognition for its beauty and scarcity, attracting attention not only in South Africa, but internationally. Coin enthusiasts are always on the lookout for the next iconic piece, the coin that will define a collection, the coin that will generate excitement at auctions. And in that circle, the 2021 1 Rand has quietly but steadily carved out a name for itself. So, what does all this mean for you? It means that you're looking at more than a coin. You're looking at a potential cornerstone of a collection, a tangible investment, and a story piece that you can share with friends, family, or fellow collectors. It's a coin that bridges generations, connecting the past, present, and future in one small, powerful object. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value of this exceptional piece. While coins can vary in price based on condition, provenance, and demand, a pristine 2021 1 Rand has recently been recognized in collector circles as a remarkable find, commanding prices that might surprise you. In fact, one in mint condition has been noted to fetch upwards of $80,000. That's not just a number. It's a testament to its rarity, quality, and the respect it has earned among collectors worldwide. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or someone looking to start a meaningful hobby, the 2021 1 Rand coin is more than just a currency. It's a piece of history, an investment, and a story waiting to be told. And remember, by hitting that subscribe button at the beginning, you're joining a community of enthusiasts who understand the thrill of discovering hidden treasures and the joy of sharing them with others. Take a moment to imagine this coin in your collection, admired not just for its monetary value, but for the craftsmanship, history, and prestige it carries. That is the power of the 2021 1 Rand, and that is why it has captured the hearts of collectors and investors alike. So, keep your eyes open, your curiosity alive, and your passion for history strong. Coins like the 2021 1 Rand don't come along every day, and when they do, they remind us why we collect, to connect with the past, celebrate artistry, and perhaps make a truly remarkable investment along the way.